when I greet the sun, when I move forward through crowded ways. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. When I knock on, when I cry with pain, when my best friends misunderstand, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. Dear God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally. Though my path lead me over deserts and though it take me through bitter storms, in my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. When I'm walking and when in earth ripples, let on victory or lonely feet. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. In my heart, Lord, ever so silently, I will always think of Thee. Dear God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally. Dear God, my God, I am Thine for eternity. Dear God, my God, I am Thine eternally. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm very excited this morning to be sharing the teachings of our Guru. And we have a very important topic this morning on how you can unlock your inner power. And step number one on this is that you must believe that you have inner power. If you think, no, not me. He can do it, but I can't do it. You are mistaken, that you are made in the image and likeness of God, and within you is a tremendous amount of power. And this morning I'm going to teach you how to unlock that, how you can use that, so that you can face all of life's challenges and that you can do more than you ever dreamed of, because that power is inside you. I promise it, and we are going to unlock it this morning. I'm going to show you how my great teacher, Swami Kriyananda, and my great guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, have completely transformed my life, and I want to transform yours as well. So first of all, I want you to believe, I want you to know, and let's prove it to you, that when you really want something, if you really want to do something, you figure out a way to do it and you make it happen. The problem is we think, well, okay, but I don't really want to. And we have to get clarity on the goals in our life, and we have to figure out, why did God put me here on planet Earth? And God has a special mission to do through each one of you. Don't just think, oh, it's only through these great masters, they have this special mission. My job is to wake up and go to work and, come home and eat some food and go to bed. That's not your life. That your life is to touch the souls and the hearts of many, many people. The purpose of your life is for you to be unbelievably happy all of the time, not just occasionally, not just when you do something that you like, but learn how to be happy all of the time. It takes willpower. You have to want it, but you can find that within yourself. You can find that willpower and that desire to be happy. In fact, who wants to be sad? Does anyone really want to be sad? No. But people don't believe that they can be really, truly happy, and you can. And here's one of the great secrets for this morning. That happiness is already within you. It's not this outer world that's going to give it to you. Yes, we like to think, I love gulab jamun. Maybe if I have 3 instead of 2, then I'll be even more happy. But let's think that through. Well, what happens when we eat 10, 15, 20 gulab jamun? Our stomach, we get a little bit of a tummy ache, and we realize that didn't quite work. It's not the gulab jamun. It's your reaction to it. It's that inside you have been conditioned, oh, this makes me feel so happy. We have a retreat in Pune, and we have people all over the world, and we brought people all over the world together for that retreat. And so we had some Americans there, Indians there, Italians there. And so I think the first night we had sandwiches for dinner, and the Indian said, oh, these are snacks. You can't give me sandwiches for dinner. And the American said, all right, real food. I have sandwiches for dinner. And then the next evening we had pasta for dinner, and the Italians, all right, now we have real food for dinner. And I don't know what curry or sabji or what we had for dinner. And the Indians were finally happy. And I watched all of this. And I said, it's not the food, it's the reaction. And each one of these different people has been conditioned to react to this. And I'm going to choose on the inside. I don't care what I'm served for dinner, lunch, breakfast. I'm going to be happy anyways, because I know that my happiness is on the inside. And this morning, thank you, Bharat Shamani. I loved it that we got awake and ready this morning with a few of the little teachings that they gave us. We did some pranayam, we moved our bodies, we got the energy moving. We have so much more to offer you. I can't explain everything this morning, but if you come and take the classes that are being offered next weekend at our Chandigarh Center, we will teach you very deep pranayam on how you can learn to control the reactive process. Let's quickly think about it. When we get very bad news, we exhale, the energy goes down the spine. When we get very good news, really? Acha hai, such, it's true? We inhale. That there is within us energy flows that cause the breath to inhale and for the energy to rise, and there's energy flows that cause the breath to exhale and the energy to go down. We want to teach you a very advanced pranayam, Kriya Yoga, that can teach you to control this energy within your own spine, that will teach you how to control your reactive process so that you can be even-minded and cheerful no matter what is going on in this world. But even now, today, you can make a mental resolution that I'm going to be even-minded and cheerful no matter what happens. Please remember, circumstances, situations, they're actually always neutral. Everything that happens to you, it's just neutral. It's how we react, and you can decide I'm going to be happy. Here's another important point for this morning, that when bad things happen to us, we can think, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Or we can say, okay, God, I see this as coming from God. And God, I don't know why you're bringing this, but I believe that it's coming for you, and I believe it's for my own good. Think about it. A dog cannot sharpen its teeth on upma, soft nadam upma, that it needs a hard bone to chew on, and that makes its teeth get strong. Likewise, if God just gave you lots of money and good things and this and that, and your life was very easy, you would not develop that inner strength to become a God yourself. And our gurus have come to awaken you and to help you remember that within you is the power of God. But we need struggles then, that we have to have these struggles and face them. Now, we can face them with low energy, oh, why me? Or with high energy. All right, wherever there's a problem, There has to be a solution, that life is made of duality. Please remember that. There's never a problem that does not have a solution. If our energy is high, we will have solution consciousness. We will say, okay, there's the problem. Now let me use my energy to find the solution. But if we have low energy, we'll just think blah, 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 blah. But we want to have high energy, and we want to find that solution. And now, it takes energy to find solutions. Even once we decide we're going to have a solution consciousness, God wants to see us put out the energy and make it happen. Later on today, I'm going to talk about renunciation for this age, and in a way that renunciation is for all of us. That today we can live lives where we dedicate our lives to God, and we live in the world, and we do the duties that are given to us. And as we are living in this world, that we want to put more and more energy into finding whatever the solutions are. And each one of us has our own dharma in this incarnation and different problems that we're going to need to learn to solve. But we have to bring good energy to it. And if I again urge you to come to the center, you'll see many bright, happy people there. They weren't born that way. I wasn't born that way. It's what we are doing, that we have been given techniques. We know how to keep our energy high. We like to associate with other people who have high energy, who have problem consciousness. You, when you're going through problems, you might call one friend and you say, I have this problem. Me too. And I have 5 other problems. And Or you might call a different friend and they say, it's all right. Let's think about it together. Okay, I have a different friend who had that problem and he solved it. Let's call him. Or it's all right. Let's pray about it together. Or it's all right. Let's meditate together. Get our energy even higher. And then we'll pray and we'll ask God for a solution. Call those friends who have the solution consciousness. And when your friends call you with their problems, take a few deep breaths and decide, I'm going to be that kind of friend who has the solution consciousness. And if you have that, then you will begin to learn how to keep your energy high all of the time. When I first came to Ananda, I heard people constantly saying, that's a high energy person. That's a high energy solution. Let's have high energy this way. And I thought, does high energy, does that mean quality or does that mean quantity? And I've come to realize that it means both. That if we can get a lot of energy flowing through us and do lots and lots of different things, we automatically will have a higher quality of energy. Or if we want to pick it up from the other way, if we're very sensitive people, that's a good thing. We can learn to look at our feelings and learn that when we feel really, really nice, that also we are accompanied by a feeling of high quantity energy within ourselves, and that we feel that we have that power flowing through us. Now, that power, where does it come from? Is it truly yours? It's not. That power is always surrounding us, and we can learn to channel it into our bodies and through our bodies. Paramahansa Yogananda said that there's enough power in 1 gram of your flesh to power the entire city of Chicago for an entire week. And this was some years back. I'm sure the city in America of Chicago, maybe it's about the size of Chandigarh now, I have no idea. But imagine that there's in 1 gram of your flesh that much power. And yet we wake up and I don't know. I don't know if I can do it today. Let me get a little chai and maybe I'll feel a little better. We have something so much better to give you than chai. We have energization exercises that can help you understand the power of the entire cosmos and how to bring it into you so that you feel that you have that power and you know that it's not yours, but it's at your fingertips, and that you can use it whenever you want, and that you can channel it. And I urge you, look at people who practice these things. Don't just believe me because I say it. Find some other people and see, how is their life in Ananda? Do they practice these exercises every day? And then you be a spiritual scientist. You practice these exercises for a week. You see what happens. These exercises have completely changed my life. That I know now that there's so much power that can flow through me. And I know, because I lived with Swami Kriyananda for 9.5 years, there was a time when I was, I don't know, in my must have been, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, long time ago, where he asked me to take his arm and help him walk up the stairs. And so, because he was a little bit older, I grabbed his arm, or he grabbed mine, I don't remember, but I just remember feeling the power. And I felt he had way more power than I did, even though he was in his late 70s, and that he was dragging me up those stairs. He was just making a little excuse for me to feel that power. And I said, that's what I want. This is who I want to be like. And so I know I have not yet achieved my potential, and none of us have achieved our potential. But that's all right. I have a clear direction. And I want all of you this morning to set your will, set your intentions. What are your clear directions? And to understand that life is directional. None of us tomorrow are going to just wake up and become a Paramahansa Yogananda or a Jesus Christ or a Buddha or a Krishna. That it's directional. But if we know which direction we're headed in, and one of those clear directions is that we make a choice that we're going to have more energy, and that we're going to learn how to channel more of this cosmic energy, and that we're going to learn how to give a high type of loving kind of energy, a supportive type of energy. Don't be one of these bosses that just yells at your subordinates and makes them get it done, or you're fired, I don't care about you. Be one of these executives who say, I love you, and I want to help all of you achieve your true potential. If you want God to help you achieve your true potential, you have to help others achieve their true potential. And then you will start understanding these subtle keys to unlocking the subtle power of the universe that is within you. And then you will start helping people, and you will want to help them more and more. And again, remember, you might not be a big CEO. It doesn't matter. Maybe your job is to help your children and to cook the meal on time and breakfast and get them out the door and get them to school on time. That's no less important in my eyes and no less important in God's eyes than the biggest CEO. What is important in my eyes is, how are you doing it? Are you doing it with a frown and dragging your energy and so sad about it, and why did God put me in this mess? Are you serving your children like you have baby Krishna right in front of you? That is God and your children, and that you are helping them come up in the best way that they can, and you're doing that in a supportive manner with your high, beautiful energy. You can make your energy so, so beautiful that people can just feel it when they're walking down the street. Why is it some people walking down the street, we see them, oh, I don't know, you just don't want to be near them. And other people, you see them and somehow you just want what they have. Why is it that people want to shake politicians' hands? That some people, they have magnetism. Why do they have magnetism? Because they have energy flowing through them. And as we learn, these are the secrets that we want to teach you, the secrets of magnetism, that you can learn to attract absolutely anything to you in this world. Don't doubt that. Just like a magnet, a chumbak, is that what it's called in Hindi? I still have a long ways to go in Hindi, but I'll get there. That it can attract only iron, correct? You as a human magnet, as a spiritual magnet, you can learn to attract absolutely anything, and more subtle things than just physical things. You can learn to attract success. You can learn to attract happiness. You can learn to attract peace and calmness, no matter what this world brings you, that you can learn to emanate these. And again, people will come to you and they will want these subtle spiritual powers and qualities that you have emanating from you. As I say the word power, I don't have the power to levitate or to, I don't know, do this or that, but I do have the power to be happy all of the time. And these, think about this also. Why do you want spirituality? That you, again, and please remember this, awaken this within yourself today, that power you can have whatever you want. You can learn, we will teach you how to magnetically attract whatever you want. Emblazon that in your mind, but then think. You might need to go home and think about this one. What is it that I want? If that Shankara is true, and he says I can magnetically attract and learn to get whatever I want. Whatever? Wow. Not just 2 crore, 3, 4, 5 crore, whatever I want. There's so much more than money. But you think about it because it becomes important. As your power begins to grow and grow, also your desires are going to change. And you're going to want much more than the things of this world. The things of this world actually are never going to please you. And I want you. Learn how to attract them. It's fine. This is life. We're here to explore and learn and go through it and have whatever you want on the material plane. But I also urge you, think a little bit bigger than that, a little bit more expanded, that there are more important things in life. I talked to my earthly father last night on the phone. He lives in America. He was a high school principal. And he had 400 teachers under him. And he would have to do all these evaluations with all of his whatever leadership team. It's interesting the things that people think about at the end of their lives. He was telling me, I should have just given those teachers one more mark. 7 out of 10 instead of 6 out of 10. It would have made them so happy. And I just cared about trying to get my sheets all just perfect and be the stern disciplinarian. It would have made them happy. Look at what people think about at the end of their lives. Those who come back sometimes, there's fascinating things to study from those who have died and come back. They say God doesn't care if you're Hindu, if you're Roman Catholic Christian, if you're Jewish. God's going to ask you one thing. How much did you love? How much did you love? He's not going to care if you had 1 crore or 2 crore. He's going to say, how much did you love? Now here's an important thing about power. Number 1, there's where the true power is. How much can you love? Number 2, if you'll begin to practice yoga, specifically Kriya Yoga, and come to the registration desk at the end of this, sign up for the classes, you will learn how to channel power within yourself. That you have not only your physical body, you have an astral body, an electrical body. And electricity can never get sick. There's a part of you, your astral body, it can be happy and healthy and whole forever. But we're going to teach you how to use these subtle channels of energy within yourself to awaken your heart, to uplift that. The Srimad Bhagavatam says always, visualize your heart chakra as a lotus. Don't be low energy. Don't let those lotus petals be facing downward. Lift that lotus up. Lift those petals up to receive the light of the sun that is also within you at your spiritual eye, to receive the light and the love of God's grace so that then those petals from your heart chakra, that they can emanate outward and that you can love people. It takes energy to love. That when people yell and shout at us, and they will, the stronger you become spiritually, you're going to get more challenges, but then you watch your heart. Can you keep it uplifted? Can you say, it's all right, it's all right. That person, he's suffering. I'm not going to just take that suffering into me and then start shouting right back. Be like the Sheoli tree, I think is the name of it. It has these white little flowers. And if you go to chop that tree down with an axe, if someone comes to you and tries to chop your happiness with their axe, you can shower them with fragrant blossoms of your love. And you can learn to be like that. We can, but it is a choice. And don't just blame your parents and blame society. It's a choice. Stay around for the whole day. I'm going to talk about astrology later on and how everything is absolutely interconnected, and that whatever karma we have and is coming from the stars, who created that karma anyways? You. And now you have to face it. But we want to give you the tools so that you can face it with a smile. And now I want to spend a few more minutes talking about life's challenges. That it takes courage. And interestingly, I believe someone here probably speaks French and might call me out on this one, but I believe the word courage comes from the French word coeur, which also means heart. Something like that. But it then, again, it takes energy. That's the point that I want to make here. To keep that heart chakra up and to have energy go out and have courage. And lift yourself up with strength, even once more. If you feel that life has beat you down, just one more. Take life one day at a time. Lift yourself up. Draw on God's power and just face that one particular challenge. And you will become stronger. And then it feels so good. It's such a wonderful thing. True victory it becomes after we've fought a hard battle and we feel, I have succeeded, I have overcome, that I channeled all of that energy that was needed in order to overcome. Also, to be able to face life's challenges, it takes concentration. And the techniques that we will deeply teach you over an amount of time, it takes time to teach all of these high things, we will give you concentration. That imagine if there was a judge, I don't know why I'm telling this story, and he has a fight with his wife, and the kids are yelling at him also, took mom's side and telling him, Daddy, you're the worst daddy ever, or whatever. And then he gets some, message on his phone that some stock just took a hit and he just lost all this money. And the, breakfast got all messed up and that went wrong. And anyways, he finally has to go to court. And then, and then first thing comes in and he's just feeling like, oh. And then you got these two people fighting and he's thinking, why did I get this karma after all these, why can't they figure it out? Okay. Do you think he's going to make the right decision on maybe which person was lying and which person was telling the truth? Or imagine that he wakes up, he has a very peaceful morning, that he has a nice, before he does some energization exercises like we did a few today, does some pranayama, sits down, offers his life to God, says, I want to be a great channel for you, God, learns how to concentrate here, completely still his thoughts, put away any little problems that he has, completely feels that he is a channel for God, gives his gratitude to God, eats a beautiful breakfast, loves the kids, goes to work, says, okay, and now he can concentrate on what's in front of him. Obviously, in the second scenario, he's going to do a good job. All of us also, we have to, when we have these challenges, we have to make decisions, we have to be able to concentrate. We can't let the problems from the past, the problems from all of our other challenges, and it's not like God just gives you one happy little challenge and there's none others, and then, okay, very good, you solved that, now I'll give you another one. He gives all kinds of them. But if we want to focus, first of all, don't focus only on the problem. Yes, in the beginning, focus on it, that you have to completely understand it. And then once you have that understanding, what I was looking for is awareness precedes control. That's a very deep teaching to understand in all of yoga, but even when we're trying to solve problems, dive deep in with concentration and understand all aspects of the problem, but then using concentration, push the problem to the side, and now concentrate on all of the different solutions. And on the very big problems, that if you're a master, you can go right to it. Because why? If you're a master, you're one with God. You understand that, okay, God created all these problems and God made all of these solutions. Now, we're not masters, but we're going in that direction. And the more we can concentrate, and concentration takes energy, focusing of our energy. And we can practice skills for that in meditation that then we bring to our daily life, and we learn how to sit still and concentrate and find the solution. And great businessmen that I've known, or great leaders, or I even met Michael Jackson, they have concentration, that they can concentrate. And so don't think that you're going to be able to solve life's problems without concentration. That I urge all of you to think of a way, and I want to say this also, that I believe many of the world's great religions are given by God. It's not that you have to come to this path. In the beginning, shop the counter. I want you to be happy. I want you to find that you have the power within you to find those solutions. I believe that God is in all of the great paths, and that I want you to find your true path. So it's not like you just have to come here, like there's a monopoly. No great spiritual master has a monopoly on God, that God is there everywhere. So the point of the matter here is for you to think about what's important, think about how you're going to get there, make a commitment that you're going to, in one way or another, pick up some spiritual tools and begin to follow a spiritual path. A true spiritual path needs to help you mentally so that you can learn to concentrate, and you can know that even your thoughts aren't your own. You're channeling them. and you can learn how to put the bad thoughts out, and that you can learn how to be a channel for the better thoughts. So a true spiritual path should help you mentally. It should help you emotionally. And interestingly, your emotions are tied into your astral body. These are deep things. I only have 3 more minutes before we have to get into questions. But you can learn to control that. So a true spiritual path should teach you how to control your emotions, how to control your energy body. And a true spiritual path should also help you on the physical level. That it should help you have a stronger body. It should help you be able to go to work and be able to work better on the physical plane no matter what you do, if you work with a shovel or if you are a lawyer or whatever the case may be. A true spiritual path needs to help you on all levels, and it needs to make sense. Don't think that if someone starts preaching high, lofty, this, and I don't understand a word, sir, but it must be wonderful because I don't understand it. Don't go for that. Actually, truth is simple. It's that things that are not true are convoluted and confusing and can hide and pretend that they are truth. And God's truth is simple. God is love. And the more we receive that love, but as Bharat said, it takes energy to receive even that love. And it's a certain kind of love. It's personal and it's impersonal. And we have to learn how to receive that. Master's greatest disciple, Rajarsi Janakananda, Master would tell him publicly, I love you, I love you. And he wouldn't sometimes tell all of the other disciples that, because Rajarsi didn't see how much the Master loves me. And in how many ashrams are people wanting to be the most important person in the ashram? And yet, the more humility that we have, the more we can serve others and not want to be important at all, that this is actually true renunciation. That renunciation only has one valid definition. It does not matter what color clothes you wear. It doesn't matter so many different things, how many meals a day you eat. True renunciation is, have you renounced your ego? Do you think that you're so important and therefore you're so better than others, and then you're bound to feel that you're so much less than others? Or do you feel we are one? Do you feel I don't even really exist? I'm just a dream of God's, and that God is flowing through me. This is what true renunciation is about. This is what the true spiritual path is about. For you to become who you truly are, which is not this little ego, but a child of God. For you to wake up into that and to live life to its fullest and to enjoy life, to enjoy every moment of life. God wants that for you. He absolutely, or she, you can think of her as she. It's beautiful. I love the Divine Mother aspect of God. She wants that for you. She wants you to be happy. She wants you to feel loved. And she wants you to feel protected. She wants you to feel powerful, that you have her power to use. She wants a beautiful, beautiful life. But you have to walk with her, hand in hand. Or I have a different friend. Have you ever seen one of these tandem bicycles? There's 2 sets of pedals, 2 wheels also. And so there's a person in the front who has the steering wheel and is pedaling, and there's a person in the back who is pedaling. And this friend of mine, again, he loved it. It's like a tandem bicycle, he would say. That the spiritual path and our relationship with God, God's there. God's driving the bicycle, but he's also pedaling. And you have to pedal the same speed as him. You can't say, no, I want to go slower right now. I'm a little tired, God. There's one chain on there. You have to pedal at the same speed and let him drive. He knows where he's going. Or you can think of it as dancing hand in hand with your Divine Mother. We will do it. Learn to cooperate with God's grace. God's grace is God's power. That is what God's grace is. And we can learn to dance hand in hand with Divine Mother and live beautiful, beautiful lives. So I urge you, make that commitment within yourself, that you will find that power within yourself, that you will unlock all of these hidden keys, that you will gain the power to not only face but overcome all of your difficulties, and that you will become a shining example of God's joy for the rest of the world. Thank you so much. So I'm now Very, very delighted. I'm happy to answer any of your questions about anything on the spiritual path. So whoever wants to go first, I see a question all the way in the back there, and the microphone's here. Let's see how we can bring these worlds together. And then you, kind sir, in the red shirt there, yes, you can go next.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Saubhagya.
Hi.
I've been going through spiritual things for, like you said, for different markets I've been shopping. One thing that I'm feeling a little bit like in the upcoming years, as we're getting more and more choices, how to reach clarity is becoming more and more challenging. Especially, we are getting artificial choices through marketing, that's one thing. But we are also getting, sometimes our own ego creates certain preference for certain choices. This overall it becomes a very confusing game, like how to get clarity on what we need to actually do. So
Understood.
it's becoming difficult.
Yes, thank you so much for asking that question. Our planet is in an age of transition, and our planet is moving into Dwapara Yuga, and that's of course a different class topic. I know in India we're taught to still Kali Yuga, but we can see it. We have our phones, you can fly anywhere in the world right now. Business is changing with the internet, we have AI coming, and so we are constantly bombarded by way more decisions than our parents had to make. And India is constant in such a state of change right now. In the past, it was like, well, if my father, runs a shop selling fruits, then I'll run a shop running fruits, and I'll do it the way my father did. How many people these days can say, I will become a genetic engineer in the way my father did it? I will, write computer programs the way my father did it. Life's completely changing, and so we're also wondering, where do we look to for guidance? And as this yuga comes about, actually life's going to get simpler right now. Even in the field of medicine right now, you might have this kind of doctor and that kind of doctor and this kind of doctor, and they all have their own language actually, and they're not even all speaking. We're going to learn to understand that what unites all of this is energy, and people will start speaking the same language, which is based on energy, and it will all become unitive. But for you, to specifically answer your question, you can learn to meditate, and then as your heart gets still, as your mind gets still, ask God what it is that He wants you to choose, and then you'll learn to use that and make that relationship so strong that you'll be able to do that even without meditating. That even when you're in the marketplace and you have to choose between two different things, and you're Googling it, and then there's all these reviews, should I go with the 4 stars or the 5 stars, but this guy says this, you'll just be able to say, Divine Mother, which one would you like me to have to use for you? It's all yours anyways. You'll get that subtle feeling on the inside. Here's another important thing, that as we learn about magnetism and energy, and as we become more high energy people, suddenly there's all these decisions to have to make. You can learn to make the core decisions, and those core decisions, like a great boat moving, will make a wake, and that wake will come and figure out all of the little details for you, and those decisions will automatically get made by the magnetism and the energy that's flowing in the right direction. Because we live in a world that we're overwhelmed by details, all of us. But we'll begin to say, okay, as long as I make this core decision, that decision, it will end up being forced then by this decision. I was in Rajasthan, and there's this puppet show where they have the puppet with all of the different strings, and if you pick it up by the wrong string, then you're picking it up by the leg, and it just looks funny. But if you pick it up there's a top knot that holds all of those different strings together, then the puppet's just standing perfectly in place. That top knot is God. If you pick your life up by what does God want me to do, then all of these little decisions down here, they will work themselves out, and you don't have to stress about it. We end up stressing out about the wrong thing, and we put so much of our daily energy onto some 2 choices on Blinkit. What kind of whatever do I want? And it's like, okay, God, I want my energy to be with you, God. You help me decide. And that flow of energy, it won't matter so much anymore. Thank you. Very good question. The next question's right here. Yes.
My name is Navdeep. We are real estate developers, so I'm into real estate business for the last 12 years. these days, what do you think success means? It means that in the terms of money you make, or you are, satisfied inside.
Okay.
What's your take on it?
Okay.
Because these days, because I deal with HMIs also, and what I believe and what I've seen in the last 12 years is that these days success is in the money, in the terms of money you make, right? If you're rich, then only you are considered successful here. If I talk of my country.
Understood. Okay. So, for everybody has lived many different lives. And so all of us are coming into this incarnation with different past experiences and different things that we need to figure out. But there's people who are renunciates who say, oh, money's delusion. I'm not going to go anywhere near that. Or someone might say, I could have been a doctor, but I just didn't want to. And you look at them and they're completely low energy and you know they would have never passed the exams. But there may be someone else who says, I could have been a doctor, and they're a high energy person and they decided to do X, Y, Z, and you think, I believe that person could have. So I think it's a wonderful thing. In fact, this is a strange statement, but Paramahansa Yogananda said, the art of making money is, I don't remember the exact thing. Do you remember it? The second highest art next to finding God. So he placed making money very, very high. So to say, and spiritual people, oh, money's the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Desire for money can be evil if that starts eclipsing our desire for God. By the way, Christians will say Hindus are so wrong, they do idol worship. It's if you make money an idol, that's idol worship. If we have altars with Ram and Krishna and everything, those are our ideals. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a physical altar that we can put our ideals on and say, I want to become like Ram. Look at Krishna. He was a great king. Of course he had to deal with money. So this is a highly individual question. If you feel you've had that energy and you've lived already so much money you don't know what to do with it and now you just want a simple life, fine. If you feel it's part of my dharma in this incarnation to make more money, and by the way, making more money, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. I want to say that more people commit suicide who have a lot of money than are poor because they thought money's going to make me happy. Don't think that money in and of itself is going to make you happy. But by putting out the energy to make a lot of money, you'll learn about energy, you'll learn about the flows in your own body and how to get that energy to flow up here and how to be happy all of the time. And, by the way, making money, once you have a lot of money, we think, oh, then I can do whatever I want. No, you can't. You have your karma, and that's going to dictate. And number two, you end up having more and more responsibility to let that money flow through you to help other people achieve their highest thing. And that responsibility ends up making us more and more spiritual people. But we cannot deny that money will give us experiences. If we have a very little amount of money, we might not even be able to get on the train and go to Rajasthan and see something. But if we have that amount of money, okay, we can see, and we say, hey, these people do something a little bit differently. I'm going to take the good from the way these people do it, and the good from how my family brought me up, and I'm going to learn how to have a better life. It's good to travel around. It's good to get experiences and to learn how to do different things. But at the end of the day, don't think that in itself it's going to make you happy. Don't make money a god. See it as something that you are going to use when you want to use it. And money is a very magnetic thing. It will take your mind, and you might have 1 lakh in the bank, but somehow you're already building an entire bungalow for yourself and thinking, it'll be enough when it's not. And not only that, you spent it also on a vacation to Australia, and you spent it this way and this way and this way. And money takes your mind and starts putting it out there in 500 million directions that aren't even actually possible. You can only do so much with 1 lakh. And so we have to learn to watch our mind and get that back to concentrated and under control, and make that our true source of happiness is on the inside. But I say, go for it. Make some money. That's a fine thing. It's okay. Each one of us has our different stepping stones to success. Again, earlier I was saying it's directional. We have our stepping stones, And we have to do that so that we feel we can become successful in anything. By the way, the spiritual path, it's not easy. It's worth it, and whatever steps we take is worth it. But the ultimate highest steps, those are not easy things to do. We need all of these different little stepping stones in life where we feel I put out energy, I was successful in that. I put out energy, I was successful in that. Okay, God, I'm going to put out energy, I'm going to meditate every day, I'm going to learn to withdraw my energy more inside and become successful in making contact on the inside with God. So for you, I say, go for it. Okay, maybe that, you choose the question. I'm going to let Bharat choose. I got overwhelmed, so many different questions.
He was heard, so
Okay.
Let's try to keep our questions to the point. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. 150,000 people die in this world. Where the departed souls go?
Sure.
And what is the belief about the rebirth?
Sure. So, if you look at the world's population, say over the last 100 years or something, I don't know how many billions were there and how many billions were, but we have many more billions now. Where did they come from? I mean, even if you believe in reincarnation, where were they last lifetime then? And there's this physical world, then there is an astral world. And there's many more planets than just this physical planet. And as this yuga progresses and things get more and more spiritual, unfortunately, most of us are going to go to some other planet and incarnate there and learn Dwapara Yuga lessons. This whole thing to become self-realized takes a long time, actually. And so where do they come from? The astral world, you could say, is center everywhere, circumference nowhere. So the astral world is where we go after we die. Now, I only have a few minutes. I want to take in more questions, but obviously we may have heard about different levels of Svarg, and there's these different lokas. And the best way to study all of that, of what is heaven like, is to get to know your own self. That absolutely everything, even including the highest levels of heaven, everything is within you. And as we learn to meditate, we can begin to explore higher realms, you could say, that there are worlds within worlds. And definitely I believe in reincarnation. I mean, I could give a whole hour-long talk on that and guide people to different books and circumstances that I've personally known. But definitely it exists. And here's an important thing. Yes, all the stuff we did in the past has made us who we are today. And we have no idea, was that 8 million incarnations? Was it 8 incarnations? But the important thing, that gets overwhelming because we don't really know what we did. We know what we can do today. Whatever I can do today to be a better person, that's going to make me have better karma tomorrow. And just take it like that, and then eventually we get to a place where we will become enlightened masters. These are very important things to think about. I only just touched on it. I urge each person to go within and think these things through for yourself and read the teachings that we have, wherever you want to take those from. These are important things because it's a big journey, human life, and it's a beautiful journey. Thank you for that question. Yes.
I may add, we'll have a class on karma and reincarnation in afternoon, so you can also.
Nice. You choose. Okay.
हम हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं?
थोड़ा आती है लेकिन बहुत अच्छा नहीं है तो मुझे लगता है कि अच्छा नहीं है हाँ लेकिन आइए बताइए और we'll figure it out.
Hemant can help.
हाँ
हम जो टॉक चल रही है how to face life challenges.
हाँ
तो मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि हमारी लाइफ में चैलेंजेस आते हैं.
हाँ.
हम अपने आप को एनर्जेटिक भी करते हैं, चाहे प्राणायाम है या मेडिटेशन है, पर जब परिस्थिति आके सामने खड़ी होती है तो हम हार जाते हैं. वो कुछ भी है, चाहे मैं कार चला रहा हूँ, एक्सीडेंट हो गया, किसी को मैंने टक्कर मार दी, तो एकदम से वो घबराहट हमें हो जाती है. हम परिस्थिति के टाइम पे नहीं अपने आप को संभाल पाते, अदरवाइज हम अपने आप को एनर्जेटिक करते रहते हैं. उसमें क्या करना चाहिए?
Okay, what should we do? I got the end. Please translate for me. I did not get some things there in the middle.
I'll try and add up here.
Acha.
He's saying that when you actually face an incident or a particular circumstance, it is then when you lose your calm or your peace or your bliss or your patience, and that being connected with the higher energy. So how do you tackle it from there? Because otherwise, all this while you had, you were connected, but while on the face of it, while you face that particular circumstance or that challenge, then is when you're not able to connect.
Acha. To, I'll try in Hindi, this will probably be all messed up, but abhyas kijiye jab asan hai. Practice when it's easy. So when we get little easy challenges, for example, should I choose this little thing or that little thing? Turn towards God and ask, and then feel. Very often I will ask Divine Mother, do you want me to have a banana milkshake for breakfast? Or would you like me to, use some dahi and add this kind of fruits and make a smoothie? And these are silly things. Some people would say, don't involve God in that. You can figure that out yourself. But when I involve God in that, oh, Divine Mother, you want me to have a strawberry milkshake or whatever? And I go in the fridge, oh yeah, I ate all the strawberries last night. If I was subtly listening, Divine Mother is saying, no, not the strawberry milkshake. Because I forgot, I already ate the strawberries. And when you make that relationship with Divine Mother in the little things, then when a child dies, when a parent dies, when the business faces bankruptcy, obviously, bahut mushkil hai, that our energy just boom, and we just feel like this is the end of the world. But it's not. Life always goes on. We are eternal souls. Who you truly are is immortal. Within your astral body, that is immortal. And life will go on. And so how do we face that then right in the moment? Turn towards God. It's that top knot that I was talking about. Turn towards God and ask God, give me the strength. Give me the courage. God, you put the thoughts in my mind to make these difficult decisions in difficult times when people die. That God is always the answer. It's that we have to understand how to make that relationship with God in a way that's real to you. Don't think that I want you to become a Paramahansa Yogananda, or that I want you to understand God as Paramahansa Yogananda understood God. I want you to make your own personal relationship with God. That Master came just to inspire us, to show us that this is possible. But in your own way, you can make your own relationship so that God will help you through the difficult times. And it's these difficult times that make us who we are. That we've all had difficult times in the past. I could tell so many different stories on that, but it's what gives us our strength. Isn't that interesting? Because it seems like it's this challenge, someone dies, you feel a little part of your heart go with that person that you loved. But if you learn to understand that person is still here, just on the side of a curtain that you can't see through, you can't see on the other side of that door, but if I went over there, I'm still there. It's the same with your lost loved ones. They're there. You'll see them again. But when that happens, I get a choice. I can feel a little part of my strength has been taken away, or I can say, God, fill me with your strength right now. And that can actually increase my strength so that when these difficult times come, I know I have that. It's like you add that to your treasure chest instead of letting your treasure chest be depleted. And so when a challenge comes, we can see it that way, that this is an opportunity. There are no obstacles, only opportunities. It's an opportunity for me to grow my inner strength and grow it now in the small ways. And then when the big challenges come, and they will come, that we will have that inner strength to face it and to do the right thing. Excellent question. Thank you. Apki marziye. Should we stop?
Maybe one last question.
Okay. Ek or.
Hello, sir.
Kaha hai? Acha. Okay.
Thank you for delivering such inspiring thoughts. And my question is that I have been undergoing several stages in spirituality. Like in my childhood, it was like a God-fearing phase where we feared God. But then life challenges came. I became severely ill. But now the phase is like God-loving phase. I wanted to ask that basically what I'm thinking from the last few months when I read the autobiography for Yogi, and my favorite part was that when he met Sir J.C. Bose, and he told, Sir Jesse was told that the non-living things, they can also feel every part. So what is actually true consciousness, sir?
Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, I'm so happy you've changed from a fear-loving relationship with God to a loving love relationship with God. Now, you know, I love plants and feeling that plants are alive and trying to listen subtly. Do they need more water, more dupe, more, fertilizer or whatever? I was somewhere with this plant called Touch Me Not, and if you touch it, it closes up really quickly. And I would try to feel love in my heart and touch it and let it know that I would not hurt it. It's wonderful as we grow on the spiritual path to begin to feel a kinship, a connection, a kinship with all life. Everything is alive. The Hindu scriptures say that even the rocks are alive, that they are conscious. Very fascinatingly, Paramahansa Yogananda said he remembered being a diamond. And then God knows how that diamond got turned into diamond dust, and he released his soul from it, and then became the minerals going up through the plants and became a plant, and on and on and on. But the point is that everything is conscious. And we want to become so subtly aware, actually to be able to go into states of super consciousness, that we can begin to feel that absolutely everything is consciousness. Now coming to your actual question that made me gasp. What is consciousness? I gasped because you cannot actually define consciousness. Consciousness is God. It's an awareness that is higher than the word awareness. We can talk words around it. It's like an invisible man. You can put clothes on that invisible man and now you can see him, but as soon as you take the clothes off, you can't see the invisible man. The definition of consciousness, we can say that it is something like awareness or a deep understanding. And we know that we have high levels of consciousness sometimes. We're very focused, we're very aware. And we have low levels of consciousness, maybe when we first wake up, or everybody's different in this world. And part of the spiritual path is for us to learn to change our level of consciousness, which we have a class on chakras, I believe, today. Different levels of consciousness reside in our different chakras, and our energy is constantly moving in our spine, but it becomes centered about certain places. And when we feel love and have that consciousness, our energy is centered in the heart chakra. We can learn to begin to feel this and learn to become more and more aware, more and more conscious, until ultimately we can achieve a state of super consciousness, which knows everything about everything throughout all time, all space. A master could look at you and know all of your past incarnations, what you're thinking right now, what you'll do in your future incarnations. It's mind-boggling, and we'll never get there with the intellect. I'm getting the hook, I can feel it. We're not getting there with the intellect, that we have to learn to go within. The important point is that the consciousness is more important than intellect. There's a Western philosopher, Descartes, who said, "I think, therefore I am." That is wrong. Even if you're not thinking, you still will be. And that it's that beingness that precedes consciousness. And we're actually trying in meditation to calm the mind and get back into a state of beingness, of awareness of who we truly are. This question also, it doesn't really have an answer. I've just spoken around it. But I urge each person to think this question through for yourself. Who am I? What is consciousness? Is God conscious? Am I part of God's consciousness? And try to understand deeply for yourself what is consciousness. Beautiful question. Okay, let's move on to the next things here. Thank you all. Lovely session. Thank you.